This game is full of places that most players never really notice. Some are hidden, and some are simply easy to miss. And while watching this video, count how many of these places you actually knew and let me know in the comments. The first hidden place is this strange garage in Las Venturas. At first it looks like just another fake garage door in the city, but this is actually a fully functional bomb shop that many players never notice. It is located near the Emerald Isle, inside this strange building called Welding and Weddings. From the outside, it looks like some random background business, or maybe a weird joke about quick weddings in Las Venturas, right? But if you drive a vehicle into the garage, the doors close behind you, and for $500, the game installs a bomb inside your car. After that, you can drive the vehicle wherever you want, activate the bomb, get out, and let the car explode after a short delay. So this innocent-looking business is basically hiding an illegal bomb workshop behind a normal Las Venturas storefront. This is not just another fake garage door in the city. It is a real functional bomb shop, hidden behind one of the strangest storefronts in Las Venturas. Let me know in the comments if you knew about this one. And while we are still in Las Venturas, there is another place that many players can drive past for years, without ever realizing that you can actually enter it. It is this small casino in Red Sands West. From the outside, it does not look nearly as important as the Four Dragons Casino or Caligula's Palace. The sign only says casino. The building looks pretty generic, and there is no special map icon telling you to visit this place. But once you walk inside, the game calls this interior casino floor, and it is actually one of the few accessible casinos in Las Venturas. It is much smaller than the two famous casinos, and it does not have the same story importance. But it still has working gambling activities, including blackjack, roulette, and video poker. There is also a small bar, a security guard, dining tables, and even pool tables on the side. And that last detail is interesting, because this is one of the only casino interiors in the game where you can actually play pool. So even though this place looks like a random background casino from the outside, it is not just decoration, it is a real interior, with real activities hidden in plain sight in Las Venturas. Another strange hidden place in Las Venturas is this unused pay-and-spray garage near the Royal Casino. In the original PlayStation 2 version, this garage was actually usable. But unlike the normal pay-and-spray garages, it was not marked on the map, and it did not behave exactly like the others. The problem is that this place was clearly unfinished or broken. In later versions of the game, Rockstar later made the garage inaccessible by permanently closing the door. But even then, the place was still not fully fixed. Part of the ground near the edge of the garage is still not solid, so sometimes you can see pedestrians getting stuck there. So today, in most versions of the game, this place is just a closed leftover. But in the original release, it was an unmarked pay-and-spray that was still partly functional. Another hidden place that many players remember, but just as many players completely missed, is this desert cave. In Fort Carson, if we go to the northwestern edge of the town, just behind the safe house near the water, we can find a small dark entrance under the railroad bridge. At first, it almost looks like a simple tunnel, but when we enter it, we quickly realize that it actually cuts through the large plateau above Fort Carson and leads all the way toward the highway area near Sherman Dam. The tunnel itself is not very long, but it has this strange empty feeling, especially because most players never have a real reason to go inside. There are no missions or map icons that guide you here, but around the middle of the tunnel, you can still find a police bribe pickup. So even this forgotten cave feels like something Rockstar wanted curious players to discover. Years ago, this cave was also connected to old myths, including stories about strange creatures or monsters hiding somewhere inside. Of course, there is no real monster waiting in the tunnel, but the place still has that classic San Andreas mystery atmosphere. Back Beyond is one of the strangest forest areas in the game. Many players remember this place for its old myths and its strange, creepy atmosphere. But one of the weirdest details in this area is not a ghost, a Bigfoot, or anything supernatural. Near this dirty little lake, you can find this extremely crooked tree leaning above the ground. At first, it looks like just another strange tree model, and San Andreas already has many weird trees placed in unusual positions. But this one is different because the angle is so extreme that CJ can actually walk on it. Thanks to the physics and collision in the game, this tree basically works like a natural ramp. You can climb onto it, walk up the trunk, and stand above the ground. Rockstar most likely just placed a crooked tree model here, without realizing that the game's physics and collision would allow player to walk on it. And at the top, we even get a nice view of the countryside around Baco Beyond. We can also jump back down into the dirty little lake below, but the water here is not very deep. So if CJ has low health, even this small jump can actually kill him. So it is just a strange little mapping detail that became interactive by accident. The next place is a much smaller detail, but I still remember finding it completely by accident on my old PlayStation 2 console. In the small desert town of El Quebrados, you can find a fully functional barbershop. Normally, barbershops are marked on the map, so players know where to find them. But this one is fully functional, and for some reason, the game does not mark it at all. So unless you randomly walk around the town and notice the yellow entrance marker, you can easily miss it completely. And that is exactly how I found this place more than 20 years ago. I just walked inside and realized that this random building was actually a working barbershop. CJ can get a haircut here like in any other barbershop, and there is even a snack vending machine outside, which you can use to restore health. It is not a huge secret, but it is one of those small discoveries that feels really cool when you find it naturally. And this place is much easier to find. In the small countryside town of Montgomery, you can find this well-stacked pizza restaurant right next to the main road. It is not really hidden from the player because the building is large, colorful, and placed in the middle of the town. But the strange part is that unlike most other pizza stack restaurants, this one is not marked on the map. It is probably just a small oversight, but it is still one of those little San Andreas details that makes the world feel strangely imperfect. And be honest, did you ever notice that the map icon is missing here? And that is what I love about this game. Even after all these years, it still feels like there is something left to discover. So, did you know all of them? Or did you discover something new today? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.